The 1980s were the golden age of Saturday morning cartoons, a time when cereal was sugary, toy tie-ins were mandatory, and every cartoon character had to shout their name before doing literally anything. Today, we're shining a light on 3 cartoons that were loud, colourful, completely ridiculous, and absolutely essential viewing for 80s kids. First up is M.A.S.K, was the Transformer G.I. Joe hybrid that nobody asked for but every kid loved. Led by the ultimate 80s action hero named Matt Tracker, the M.A.S.K team battled the evil organization Venom using high-tech helmets and vehicles that could change forms mid-battle. Each helmet had a unique power. Tracker's Spectrum could shoot lasers and X-rays. Another guy had one that could levitate objects. The vehicles? A Camaro that turns into a jet. A motorcycle that becomes a helicopter. Why? Because it was the 80s. The animation was slick, the theme song was an absolute banger, and the show was basically a 30-minute commercial for Kenner's toy line. And we didn't care. We wanted all the toys. The show only ran for 2 seasons, but over 75 toy variants were released. Some are collector's gold today. Next up is HeMan. By the power of Grayskull, possibly the most shouted phrase in playgrounds from 1983 to 1989. HeMan was part Conan the Barbarian, part space opera, and 100% muscles. Prince Adam of Eternia would raise his magic sword and transform into the most powerful man in the universe, and his cowardly pet tiger became Battle Cat, naturally. Skeletor, the blue-skinned villain with the voice of a shrieking crypt keeper, was constantly trying to take over Castle Grayskull, with henchmen like Beastman, Trapjaw, and Evil Lyn. But let's be honest, Skeletor carried the show. Here's the crazy part. The entire cartoon was created to sell Mattel's toy line. They literally invented the show after the toys were made. Still, the writers managed to sneak in moral lessons at the end of every episode. He-Man's popularity led to a 1987 live-action film starring Dolph Lundgren. And it was gloriously bad. Really, really bad. The British cartoon you might have missed if you grew up outside the UK. Bananaman, the superhero who gets his powers by eating a banana. Eric is an ordinary schoolboy who turns into a muscle-bound superhero with a chin like Mount Rushmore. His powers include flight, super strength, and mild confusion. Honestly, he's more of a parody of superheroes than a real one. His arch-enemies included General Blight, Dr. Gloom, and even a literal apple-themed villain named Appleman. Yes, fruit-based rivalry was a thing. Bananaman was voiced by members of the Goodies, a British comedy trio, which explains the Monty Python-style silliness. It may have been a bit daft, but Bananaman had heart, and every British kid who grew up in the 80s remembers him fondly. If you remember any of those, you were living your best 80s life. The 80s gave us cartoons that were more than just TV shows, they were events. They gave us heroes, villains, moral lessons, incredible theme songs, and yes, a reason to wake up early on Saturdays. So, whether you were flying Thunderhawk, swinging the sword of power, or hoping bananas would give you superpowers, you, my friend, survived the 80s. What was your favourite 80s cartoon? Drop it in the comments. And bonus points if you still have the toys. Smash that like button, subscribe for more retro goodness, and until next time, keep it rad and keep it weird.